Welcome to GCCars. My name is Eric, and today we're going to take a city POV test drive in this 2022 Volvo V90 Cross Country B6, the new mild hybrid powertrain. And I'm going to show you the stats about this in a second. I just want to quickly show you the cool little taillight animation if we unlock it. There you go, you see it goes nice and up. And of course, let's take a quick look at the trunk, kick to open. Pretty good trunk space, and we even have this little cover, and we have a cage even. Of course, we would need to take the cover out for that, but that is pretty nice. Grocery bag hangers. All in all, pretty cool. But let's show you all the stats on the right hand side about this specific Volvo V90 Cross Country that we're going to drive today. And what are we going to do? Well, in the city POV test drive, we're basically trying to figure out how smooth the drivetrain is and the engine and transmission, and how nice it rides here in the city. And we're also going to do a quick bit of an acceleration run. Not too much because, well, we're in the city, we don't want to break speed limits. But before we get started, real quick, I have a full-on review about this 2022 Volvo V90 Cross Country just in the top right-hand corner, where we talk about the exterior, the interior, and go in-depth on how it drives and if you should buy it or if you should maybe go with a competitor. With that being said, let's go hop on in and drive it. All right. Very nice with the wood in here. It's very nicely textured. Looks really good. I have the headrests down right now. You can just pop them down with the button, so I didn't put them back up. But yeah, so far so good. Let's start her up. Buckle up. And that's our Google Maps. It should load any second now. Or we can just open our Google Maps here, because that's integrated Google Maps. It's not Android Auto. And it eventually will load. Sometimes it's a little glitchy, just like you probably know on the phone when you're just kind of scrolling around. Sometimes it doesn't load at all, and sometimes that happens here on the gauge cluster as well. But most of the time it works pretty well. Let's turn on the wipers, front and back, and drive. Also, I want to turn on the heated seats and the heated steering wheel. And there you go, there's our gauge cluster map now, which is very high resolution. But I don't want to talk too much about the details and how I like it, and if I like it, if I don't like it, because that's what we do in the full review. This is more to give you an impression of how it is to drive it, and occasionally I'll chime in to talk about what we're doing, but most of the time I'm trying to stay a little quieter so you can hear how it is to drive this Volvo V90. Let's take a quick look at the gauge cluster. You can see it's very, very nicely detailed. And our infotainment here works a little different than the XC90 that we've had recently, so I'm still getting used to that. But overall, pretty good, pretty good. Now we're going to do the acceleration test, the quick one. Like I said, we're not going to go too fast because, well, we're in the city. We want to keep to the speed limits. We got a full one in the full review, where we test the acceleration properly, do a proper launch just to see how quick it is. Let's slow down a little. And okay, like I said, we're not going to go too fast, but I think we've got a good look at the acceleration of this V90 here, V90 Cross Country. 295 horsepower, 310 pound-feet of torque from a turbocharged, supercharged, mild hybrid 2-liter inline 4. Quite a few quite a few things on that engine. Very complicated. And it's always kind of funny because I have like a Google Doc, or like Google Sheets, whatever you call it, the Excel kind of thing. And I enter all this data of all the cars I drive, so I can always go back and compare everything from like storage to acceleration and like pretty much everything. And while I have like a column for how the engine is aspirated, so naturally aspirated, turbocharged, supercharged, electric, and all that. And I had to extend it twice for Volvo. First of all, when the XC90 was in, because instead of being just like one option, it had to be supercharged, turbocharged, hybrid. And now I had to do supercharged, turbocharged, mild hybrid for the V90. So let's see if there ever will be a car which leads me to extend it even more. I kind of doubt that, honestly. But just a fun little tidbit. Car's gonna be so filthy after this drive. That's the worst thing about winter, really. How often I have to clean the cars and how thoroughly I have to clean the cars for the videos. And then you do it, and then you drive to the location and it's dirty again. So it's like, why did I even bother? Yeah, so looking forward to summer again, even though it's just November, but the anticipation is there. We also have 2 more POV drives about every single car I review. So we have the city POV drive, obviously, but we also have a night POV test drive where we test the headlights, the high beams, and we also do a little bit more proper acceleration when we do a launch in that one. And then we have a highway POV test drive where we drive it on the highway. That's where we test all the assist systems. So like the lane keep assist, lane keep warning, and depending on the car, we do like adaptive cruise control and maybe the lane centering assist, so like semi-autonomous systems like this Volvo has with its pilot assist, which always very interesting. So if you're interested in this Volvo V90, I can highly suggest watching the highway POV test drive at the very least, because the pilot assist is a pretty cool feature, and if you're looking into buying one of these, that's a feature you are going to want. Trust me. here just for a second or two so we can end the video. So let's put into park, turn off the engine, and yeah, that was a POV test drive here in the city in the Volvo V90 Cross Country. Quick look here at the back once more. Like I said, we have a full-on review. There we go. Full-on review about this Volvo V90, which is going to be on your screen somewhere right now. So fully suggest checking that out. And other than that, thank you so much for watching. Hope you liked it. Remember to like the video and subscribe because we upload every single week a new review. And yeah, thank you for watching. Hope you liked it, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you and goodbye.